my god, they've done it again. It was only but a few days ago where Neural DSP released the Fortin Nameless X suite, much awaited updated version of their original Fortin Nameless suite, and blew everybody away. But now they have done the unthinkable and they've released another X version of one of their plugins. And they just dropped the updated X version of their plugin of the SLO. Holy crap. So let's just take a walk through and see what we've got. Okay, to start off, I want to just see kind of an overview of anything that might be different that I can notice right off the bat. Those look all pretty much the same, except for the UI is updated in more high definition, right? I think all the pedals are the same. The amplifier obviously has a better look to it, and it does have some other skins, which I believe were already there. I dig the purple. The cabinet section, I think, has a room send now, which I don't believe it had before, which is really awesome. And the EQ is exactly the same as most of their other plugins, so not much going on there. And they've added delay and reverb, maybe? So if I'm looking at the original Soldano plugin, it looks like we've got all of the drives there, and those look all the same to me. So we've got the same drives. The amplifier doesn't have anything new to it, I don't believe. So that's all pretty much the same there. In the cabinet section, let's check on the original. Yep, we do have the room, which is a new addition to the cabinet section, which is really nice because that can give you some real good, juicy ambient vibes or roomy sounds to your leads and even your rhythms if you really want, or whatever you want to put on there. But since Archetype Petrucci, this has been something they've been adding to all of their plugins. And so the EQ I know is going to be the same, and at the end with the post effects, I believe that is still the same as well. So there's not too much additional to this beyond the two big ones that I talked about in the Fortin Nameless X suite. But they've also added some very useful utilities to this, including the tuner, where you can change it to a live tuner. So instead of having to pull this up and have it in your way when you're playing on screen, it's now down in the bottom left corner of the plugin itself. So when you're playing, you can check your tuning as you play. They've got the MIDI section, of course, as they always have. Tap section for your delays and stuff to set tempos for that in the standalone version of the plugin. But now they've also added the metronome feature, which has been really great in a lot of their plugins. I've gone over this a few different times with some of their more recent plugins. It's really great. You have a metronome that can do all sorts of time signatures, volume levels. You have a handful of different sounds, even drum kits that you can play. You can set the tempo. You can tap tempo. You can pick the rhythms of how the metronome is subdivided, and you can actually pick the different drums that are being played. Right? So, and you can even pan it, I guess, if you want to, if that's something that you want to do. So having this to be able to play along with it, it's just really helpful. I mean, right? It's just something to practice with if you're using the standalone version of this plugin. Alright, so I'll real quick go over the doubler and transpose effects that they've added to this. I feel like those are the two biggest key contenders in terms of your playing with these plugins and the updates to them. So we're going to sit here with the default setting on the Soldano itself. Right? It's a good little chunky sound, but if you turn on the doubler, you go from having a single center-aligned mono to a double guitar effect. So it sounds like kind of more of a professional recording, or like you've got two guitar players playing. It just makes playing with yourself a whole lot easier and more fun because it just sounds more full, especially when you're playing along with songs. The transpose feature is something that I think a lot of people have enjoyed. I really fooled around with it on the Fortin Nameless X suite. Essentially what it allows you to do is detune your guitar up to like a full octave if you really wanted to go that low. But maybe not the right tone for this, but you get the idea. You can tune your guitar all sorts of different ways. Maybe you go down 8 semitones. Right? You got to get a specific tone for the right thing, but it's there if you want to detune your guitar and explore some different tunings, or even try to emulate an 8-string when you only have a 6. Okay, so now I'm going to actually walk through a handful of the presets of some of my favorite players that are going to be on here, to give you a little bit of a taste of some of the tones that you can get out of this with the presets. So the first person I'm actually going to go to is Rabia, because his tones are just always like really good. Let's go to tight riffs. Bia's stuff always sounds good, and saturated leads, let's just do it. He just really knows how to dial in a really nice like lead tone. I don't know what it is, but every time I use one of his presets for a lead tone, it just fits so well, and it just screams and cries and handles exactly the way that I would want it to for a really awesome lead tone for melodic stuff and shreddy stuff. It just covers everything. Alright, let's check out Charlie Griffiths from Haken. Do love me some Haken music. Let's go Robert Gainey Jr. This sounds like a very thrashy. Then we got Shania Gain. Oh, it's a little different. Sigourney Weaver. This sounds like a very kind of Dream Theater-y tone right here, like a... Alright, let's check out some Keyend presets, because I've been getting into his stuff quite a lot lately. He makes some really good content. So, Dream. I'm assuming it's some kind of leady thing. Very dreamy, like in the other room dreamy. And lastly, let's just test out a couple of Neural DSP's own factory presets just to see how those sound. Here's a nasty, disgusting 7-string. Let's test out a Neural DSP lead, see how their stuff sounds. Alright, well, I guess that kind of wraps up this quick little video here. I kind of jumped when I could when I saw that this got released. So this literally released today, the day that I'm recording this. So, yeah, I don't have a prepared song or anything like I did with the Fortin Nameless, but I figured a little showcase was in order for you guys in case you didn't hear the awesome news. Maybe I'll write something with this, but I'm still working on that song from the Fortin Nameless X video, so if you haven't seen that yet, definitely go check it out in the comments or on your screen right now. And before you go, watch all of the videos on your screen, actually, and I'll see you guys in the next video.